Here's something most men don't understand until it's too late. Daily reading is a secret weapon. It's quiet, it's personal, and that's why it's overlooked. But the truth is, behind almost every high performing, respected, and influential man is a habit of reading daily, not scrolling, not watching, reading daily on purpose. This isn't about being book smart or trying to impress anyone. This is about feeding your mind the way you feed your body every single day. Because the man who reads daily becomes mentally sharper, emotionally grounded, and intellectually dominant in every room that he walks into. Most men will never tap into this. They'll stay distracted, they'll stay mentally soft, they'll keep asking, why am I not further ahead? Without realizing their brain is starving. If you're tired of feeling behind, unclear, or just like something's missing in your routine, start with this habit. And if you want to go even deeper with structure, guidance, and the exact books that will help you build clarity, power, and real masculine strength, then join my private coaching program. Click the first link in the description. Let's break down the hidden power of daily reading and why every man should be doing it. 1. Daily reading gives you an unfair advantage in a world full of mental laziness. Let's be real. Most men don't read. They scroll, they binge, they skim, but they don't sit down, open a book, and actually read with intention. That makes them mentally lazy. It makes them soft, and it puts you in the perfect position to get ahead. When you read daily, you're doing what 90% of other men won't do. You're committing to growth that isn't flashy but extremely effective. You're stacking insight, sharpening your thinking, and building mental discipline brick by brick. That discipline spills over into every part of life. You start making decisions faster. You express yourself more clearly. You think through situations instead of reacting emotionally. That's what separates strong men from scattered men. That's what gives you an edge in conversations, in conflict, in business, and in leadership. Reading daily also means you're constantly learning. You're feeding your brain with strategies, frameworks, and timeless truths, while everyone else is feeding their minds with distractions. The compound effect, it adds up fast. In 6 months, you'll be more articulate. In a year, you're outthinking your competition. In 5 years, you're leading circles around them. The world rewards the sharpest thinkers, not the loudest talkers. So if you want to stand out, lead well, and dominate with confidence, daily reading gives you an advantage you can't afford to ignore. It builds the most valuable habits a man can have: consistency. Success doesn't come from massive one-time actions. It comes from the small, consistent things that you do every single day. And reading is one of the best habits to teach you consistency because it forces you to show up, think, and grow even when you don't feel like it. That's what makes daily reading so powerful. It's not just about what you learn, it's about who you become while doing it. You become the kind of man who shows up for himself, who invests in himself, and who takes ownership over his development. That character trait, it bleeds into your workouts, your finances, your relationships, and your leadership. Suddenly, you're more reliable, more grounded, more steady. And that kind of man is rare. Most guys chase motivation. They wait to feel ready before doing the hard stuff. But men who read daily know better. They don't wait, they commit. And that simple habit rewires how they show up in every area of life. You also start seeing your time differently. You stop wasting hours on useless content. You carve out space each day to build your mind. Even 15 to 30 minutes makes a difference. It's not about reading for hours, it's about showing up consistently. And once you prove to yourself that you can stay consistent with reading, you unlock the confidence to be consistent everywhere else. That's where the real transformation happens. Strong men don't need hype, they need habits. Daily reading is one of the best places to start. Daily reading sharpens the way that you think, and the way you think shapes your result. Everything you want: more money, stronger relationships, and deeper purpose. It all starts with how you think, and how you think is shaped by what you consistently put in your mind. That's where reading comes in. When you read daily, you're not just learning facts, you're exposing yourself to a new mental model. You're learning how other high-level men think, problem solve, and lead. You start seeing life differently. You develop pattern recognition. You stop making the same mistakes over and over because you start catching them in advance. That's what smart reading does. It makes you proactive instead of reactive. It puts you on offense in life, not just defense. Most guys think that their life is stuck because of circumstances, but 9 times out of 10, it's their thinking that's holding them back. Their mind is filled with noise, not strategy. Distraction, not clarity. Emotion, not logic. Daily reading fixes that. It gives you tools for your mind. It strengthens your ability to focus, decide, and lead. And the more you read, the more life begins to reflect qualities of your thoughts. This is exactly what we focus on inside my private coaching program. We don't just recommend books. We walk through them, break them down, and show you how to use them to sharpen your mind, strengthen your discipline, and live like a man with purpose. If you want your results to change, your thinking has to change first, and nothing rewires your mind like consistent strategic reading. Join us using the first link in the description. Reading builds self-respect, and men who respect themselves win. There's a quiet pride that comes from doing hard things daily, and reading, though simple, is one of them. It's not always exciting. It doesn't get likes or attention. But when you do it anyway, you start earning respect from the one man who matters most, yourself. That self-respect changes everything. When you know you've been feeding your mind with wisdom, insight, and clarity every day, you carry yourself differently. You walk into rooms with a calm strength. You speak with conviction. You don't need to prove anything because you've already proven it to yourself. On the flip side, weak men avoid anything that doesn't give them instant pleasure. They scroll, they binge, they're obsessed with sports, they coast, and deep down they feel it. They know they're not doing what they should be doing. That kills self-respect. And when a man doesn't respect himself, neither does anyone else. Daily reading becomes a small, daily win. You start your day ahead. You stack confidence over time. You know that while most men are wasting their mornings, you're feeding your mind like a man on a mission. You don't just read to learn, you read to lead. That quiet, disciplined, daily act rewires how you see yourself and how others see you. And that alone is worth it. So if you've been struggling with self-doubt, lack of direction, or just feeling average, start reading every day. It's one of the fastest ways to rebuild your respect and reestablish your power. It keeps you evolving because a stagnant man is a dying man. Here's the deal. Life doesn't pause. You're either growing or you're regressing. And too many men hit a point where they stop evolving. They think that they've learned enough. They start coasting. And before they know it, they're mentally flatlined. Reading daily ensures that never happens. It keeps you curious, hungry, and sharp. It exposes you to new ideas, new challenges, and new levels of thinking. That kind of mental expansion is what makes you dangerous, not just when you're 25, but when you're also 55. When you stop learning, you start losing. It's not always obvious at first, but little by little, your perspective narrows, your creativity dries up, your decisiveness fades, and eventually, you're just going through the motions while younger, hungrier men are passing you up. Daily reading is how you stay ahead. It's how you keep growing when everyone else gets complacent. It's how you stay unpredictable, capable, and relevant in every season of life. Don't let yourself plateau. Don't think that you've arrived. That mindset is a trap. Keep evolving, keep pushing, keep sharpening the one asset that drives everything else, your mind. Books aren't just for learning. They're for survival, for dominance, for legacy. Make daily reading a non-negotiable. Build your edge and never lose it. Daily reading isn't just smart, it's powerful. It's the quiet habit that turns confused men into clear leaders, reactive men into thinkers, and average men into uncommon ones. If you want to lead with clarity, speak with power, and win with consistency, then start reading daily. If you want to do that, inside a system built for masculine growth with guidance, structure, and mentorship, join my private coaching program today. This is where men go to get sharp, stay sharp, and lead. Click the first link in the description down below. Read every day. Lead every day. And I'll see you in the next one.